Chairman.
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 It's kind of cool, right?
I would say reliable.
Hardworking.
Respectful.
Compassionate.
Simple, not really fussy about food.
Open. He listens and he enables.
Firm, has a strong moral compass.
Decisive.
Mentor.
Witty man.
Dapper. Hardworking. Compassion. Kind-hearted. Sincere.
Receptive.
Straightforward.
His stamina, energy and stomach to deal with many issues is so amazing.
First thought that I had in my mind after the shock is that this was too soon, right? You started off with the historic change in the government and all the things that we had to do. Once in a century pandemic hit, right? And we have to navigate that. Then the sharpest recession since Second World War for the global economy, sharpest economic contraction for Malaysia since the Asian financial crisis, and so on and so forth. So, crazy times, right?
During the COVID period, Chairman was in the thick of the action. While we would have thought Chairman would stick to the much more macro part of managing the organization, managing the capital market, he was also wanting to be involved even in the micro aspect. I think most of you would know that even internally, all of those measures that were put in place for our safety. Technically, it's an operational matter, but it got the view and endorsement by Chairman himself. At times when there were so many interpretation of who can move, who can give the authority, there was so much confusion, and I think the Chairman was having none of it, and he went straight to the authority to get those clarifications.
So when we first started on CMP3, it was pre-COVID, I recall, and John was very gracious. He attended all the first few sessions we had, and he was very open. Right, we could raise anything we think of. It was very safe to sort of say, what the real problem, what the real elephants in the room, and that was nice. I mean, in a way, we're very fortunate to have had that.
And he's done a lot of work checking with all the different bosses over the world, globally, which model to do, in coming out with what we call, in short, RegSep, regulatory subsidiary. This is still not finalized, a milestone that I personally think is very significant.
Chairman creates a calm environment, although the message that he conveys carries cautionary points. There have been instances where we have to deal with delicate issues with senior stakeholders.
He actually provides a very good challenge session, provide inputs and a very practical approach in terms of resolution.
I think Chairman represented SC Malaysia very well. I mean, we were in charge of the Sustainable Finance Initiative. What's wonderful about that is all the other chairs of all the other securities regulators really looked up to the SC and looked up to the work that we do.
We have seen the last 2 years many more opportunity for promotions and movements of staff. Definitely over 100 people have benefited from it. He has shown great care and concern for the staff's well-being. He has approved the Employee Assistance Program in 2020 by giving the one-off allowances to alleviate some of their burden. And again, the SC Care Program in 2021, where we extended the benefits for their mental well-being, and of course also their costs, the costs that they have to incur while working from home.
When you go and see Chairman, make sure you are well prepared, because he will ask all sorts of questions. We come from all angles and corners. Sometimes when we present to him, we will just sit quiet and say, So I don't know whether he's on the attack mode or on a different mode altogether. Sometimes you can never tell. But one thing about Chairman is actually he puts you at ease.
When you engage with him, Chairman might seem quite stoic, right, and strict, but actually, when you see him and when he's in a smaller group, he's actually quite funny.
each moment, each experience working with him has been memorable in a way that there will always be something that you can learn from it and remember by. It could be something funny that happened, a light bulb moment, like, why didn't I think about that? And it is a point of view that he gives, during discussions.
When he recommended me to attend COP26 last year, it was the global climate event attended by leaders of the world, and I never dreamt that I would be attending that event. So when he reached out to me, he told me his reasons for recommending me to attend. I was really grateful and humbled by the opportunity.
Very principled. I have known him for so many years. He treats his responsibility as professional and yet principled.
The first time when I met up with him and his words to me, Alex, I do not need to monitor you closely, but you are to held accountable to what you do, and we work as a team.
He is willing to accept the conditions that his people work in, and he's very understanding on that.
Chairman would want you to speak up your mind. I noticed that he will call us separately, so that he will come and seek our views independently from our bosses and everything, what we think about of a certain case and all that. And I believe that he will analyze those information after he's spoken to all of us, and then he will form his decision. So I thought that was unique about this chairman.
When I had to obtain his urgent decision at 6 o'clock in the morning, I was not able to reach him the night before. I knew he was in discussion with the other directors till late evening. So I called him at 6 a.m. the next day, because failure to do so would have had a huge impact on my team. So when I rang him, the longer the phone rang, the more I wanted to hang up. Then when I was about to actually end the call, Chairman picked up the phone, and thankfully he was calm and he didn't bite my head off. I was able to explain the situation, and even at 6 o'clock in the morning, Chairman was open to a discussion. We spoke for a couple of minutes and he gave me the clearance that I needed. I was very grateful for that, and so was my team.
Chairman is very thorough because he treats the industry dialogue very seriously. So a lot of the talking points, he really wants it to be at the finest, at the very best.
During the annual reports 2021 announcement, I was surprised that he remembered me and requested me to control his teleprompter, his speech, because I know what's chairman's pace for the speech speed.
It's not easy to grasp fintech. He has been very supportive, nimble and agile, right, in trying to absorb these new things which is happening in the capital market.
Chairman saw this struggle in virtual meeting, everything, then he actually support our initiative to go to the cloud.
Chairman is a person that will always support you if what you do or plan to do is for the best interest of the organizations. He will listen to you, he will challenge you, and sometimes upset with you or with other people, but because you are in front of him, you somehow get the tempias.
Janice cari Chairman ada problem.
I was reminded of a poem by Tagore, which emphasized the fact that we shouldn't be counting the months, but instead we should be counting the moments. And when we look at it from that perspective, the moments that you have gone through in your time in the SC was worth decades.
Semoga dimurahkan rezeki, dipanjangkan umur, semoga dirahmati Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, dan semoga dipermudahkan segala urusan.
You will be dearly missed.
He's young. He has a lot more energy. He shouldn't go and spend time with the grandchildren as if he is retired. He should get back to the profession and continue to contribute.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve you.
I wish you success in your next chapter.
All the best, and I humbly bid farewell to you.